has been stealing money from my account and has told lies.
Baseball's biggest star, Shohei Otani, speaking for the first time about the theft and gambling allegations swirling around his former interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara.
I'm very saddened and shocked that someone who I'm trusted has done this.
Otani denied any connection to the money allegedly wired from his account to a bookmaker in Southern California, where sports betting is illegal.
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf.
The first he heard about Ippei's gambling, Otani says, was after the Dodgers' first game of the season last week in Seoul, South Korea.
Ippei admitted that he was sending money using my account to the bookmaker.
Those remarks come nearly a week after the Dodgers fired Mitsuhara, who reportedly told ESPN conflicting stories about what Otani knew and when.
If you're a fan, you probably feel better about hearing this detailed of an explanation from Otani.
Multiple sources tell NBC News Otani's name surfaced in a federal investigation into bookie Matthew Boyer. Boyer's attorney says her client never communicated with Otani and that Mitsuhara never bet on baseball. Was he aware that he was paying these debts, at least in part, through Shohei Otani?
At some point, Mr. Boyer understood that a wire transfer had come through with the name Otani and the subject line said loan. But that was the only knowledge that Mr. Boyer had, and he never asked any questions about it.
The IRS says they're now investigating Boyer and Mitsuhara. No charges have been filed against either man. The MLB says they're also investigating.
Number 17.
And as the Dodgers start their season with sky-high expectations, Otani greeted with cheers as he stepped up to bat in last night's exhibition game, the Dodgers losing to his former team, the Angels.
Now, Ippei Mitsuhara has not spoken out about this, and he has not responded to multiple attempts by NBC News to reach him. It's still not known how Mitsuhara was able to access Otani's account and why he told those conflicting stories. Otani did not answer any questions from reporters yesterday. Savannah.
All right, we'll continue to watch it, Liz. Thank you.
We're going to turn to the scandal rocking Major League Baseball. Shohei Otani is set to address the media today after his interpreter was fired for allegedly gambling, illegal gambling. Victor Kendo is at Dodger Stadium. And Victor, there are growing questions about how much the player really knew. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael. There are a lot of questions for everyone involved here as we prepare to hear from Shohei Otani today. The Dodgers star and his interpreter were very close. So the questions this morning, how much did Otani know? And how was his interpreter able to access his bank account?
Otani shoots a fly ball to left field.
This morning, baseball's biggest star, Shohei Otani, embroiled in an investigation by Major League Baseball, while the IRS also zeroes in on an alleged illegal gambling scandal involving his former interpreter.
This scandal has the potential to be one of the biggest sports scandals that we've ever seen, certainly one of the biggest baseball scandals that we've ever seen.
Otani is the highest paid player in American sports history. ESPN reporting his interpreter and best friend, Ippei Mitsuhara, allegedly used the superstar's money to pay off at least $4.5 million to cover his gambling debts to a bookmaker who is also under federal investigation. Mitsuhara first claiming the superstar agreed to help him pay the debts, only to walk that back a day later.
He said that Otani had no knowledge of his gaming debts and had not paid the money through the wire transfers.
Mitsuhara denies betting on baseball, telling ESPN he placed bets on soccer, basketball, and football. A spokesman for Otani calling him a victim of massive theft. Now, TheAthletic.com questioning Mitsuhara's background, reporting his former team's biography was allegedly falsified, including where he attended college.
He said he attended the University of California, Riverside, and there's just no record. As it relates to his actual career, he said that he was an interpreter for Hideki Okajima during the Yankee spring training in 2012, but Okajima failed his physical that spring.
MLB launching their investigation after the Dodgers promptly fired Mitsuhara. The IRS now opening a criminal investigation of Mitsuhara. Otani considered a modern-day Babe Ruth, now in the middle of the firestorm.
While sports betting is legal in many states, it is illegal here in California. Mitsuhara says that he didn't know that what he was doing was illegal. Michael?
All right, Victor, I'm sure a lot of questions will be answered pretty soon. Thank you so much.
Hello, welcome to episode 85. Just my opinion. And this one I'm titling Gambling. Due to the recent allegations and scandal involving baseball superstar Shohei Otani. A gambling scandal which involves Mr. Otani due to the involvement of his interpreter. This situation is somewhat complicated. It entails fraud and provisional statements and mixed motives. It's still developing, still being looked into, and still being investigated. Here's the events of the interpreter scandal. He is served as an interpreter for Shohei Otani. Now what it entails is Masahiro Tad of gambling reportedly received $1 million. He began borrowing money from families and his family members and close friends. Masahiro gambling attack reportedly reached $4 million upon his time. He asked Otani for help. October 2023, Otani name allegedly appears on 2 wire transfers totaling $1 million, with the clarification of a loan attached to the transactions. The receipt of both transactions as embroiled. Both of them as brought Mr. Otani into this. Masahiro was later said that he and Otani paid off debts through Otani's account, which is many as 9 transactions, each worth $500,000 over the course of several months. According to Masahiro Otani didn't have any clue the money was going to a bookmaker. MLB players, team employees from wagering on basketball, baseball, whether be it legal, sanction means. These rules also gives betting on any sports through illegal or bookmakers. Masahiro reported he met the Southern California bookmaker Matthew Boyer at the poker game in San Diego. Soon after, Masahiro allegedly began placing bets with Boyer on credit. Masahiro claimed that he didn't place the first or any bets on baseball. This is serious. When questioned about this, Shohei Otani allegedly admitted that he paid the tab off for his translator. Which would have been okay, but it's against the law. It's totally against the law to pay any bookmaker. Then he walked it back and said, allegedly, I didn't know nothing about it. These were payments paid from your account. Now, first the translator said that he paid off debts that him and Shohei Otani, implicating Shohei Otani on betting on baseball, which is a no-no. That's something that you don't do. There's been several players banned from the game of baseball because they gambled and they betted on the game of baseball. I would hope not, because Mr. Otani is a superstar, international superstar. He's an awesome, awesome baseball player. He's the equivalent of Babe Ruth is. The man pitches, the man hits. He's all around talent. Here's a few players that's been banned for life from the big game of baseball due to gambling, due to betting on the games. Probably the most famous of all is shoeless Joe Jackson. After the White Sox lost in the 1919 World Series to the Cincinnati Reds, Jackson and several other White Sox players was accused of accepting $5,000 each, which is equivalent of $88,000 in today's money, to throw the series. In September 1920, a grand jury was convened to investigate the allegations. Jackson trailblazed and set a series record that was not broken until 1964. He led both teams with a batting average of .375. He committed no errors, and he threw out a runner at the plate. However, the Reds hit usually higher numbers of triples. 3 out of 9 total. Jackson's position was in the left field. The Sox pitcher said the team's outfielders were playing out of position and slow, fielding balls. This led to Jackson admitted to participate in fishing during the grand jury testimony on September 1928. Nevertheless, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, the newly reported commissioner of baseball, approved of a lifetime ban on all 8 players that participated. This is a guy that said actually fixed the game and was paid to lose. This is a man that has the 4th highest batting average in the history of the game. His average was .356. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, another famous baseball player that was banned because of his improprieties. Allegedly, he betted on baseball. Well, matter of fact, he admitted to it. Pete's been banned. He's been banned from the Baseball Hall of Fame, pardon me, banned from holding a job, anything having to do with baseball. Anything. His average was 303. He had 4,256 hits, 160 home runs. Runs batted in, he had 1,314. So we're talking about a guy. Peter's one of the most decorated baseball players in the history of the game. So we're talking about a guy that has the accolades to get into the Hall of Fame. But due to the fact that he allegedly betted on a game, well, he admitted to it, he betted on the games. He's not in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. So does Shoeless Joe Jackson for their illustrious records and the things they achieved in the game. And this may happen to Masahiro Shohei Otani. This may happen now. This man is already done win MVPs, Cy Youngs, and he's on his way to Cooper Time. He's on his way to the Hall of Fame. But if it's found out that he has any wrongdoing or he did bet on the games, it can all be over in the blink of the eye. This is a guy that signed the highest contract in North American sports history. $700 million. You should have been a Yankee, but $700 million in 10 years. So, this is what at stake for Shohei Otani. If he had anything to do with the gambling scandal or betting, he have a lot to lose. He may lose his career. He may lose his money, his contract, his reputation. $700 million in 10 years. The largest contract in sports history. He got the lowest contract in the history of sports, eclipsing Messi's $670 million contract with FC Barcelona. And this can all be lost and can be voided by you just being greedy and betting on the game. Hopefully this is not the case. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks you. Also be on the lookout for my new podcast, His and Hers, coming soon. A special shout out to Abu Saeed Amin. He does the beats for my intros and outros. Also, Farrakhan Muhammad. Keep it pushing. Please check his platform out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok at Farrakhan Muhammad. Thanks.
Whoever talking, if they ain't got receipts, tell them to shut up. That's how this world really supposed to work. Because if you really about that life, hey, you got receipts.
Abu Saeed.
up.